Hey guys, it's another week. Woohoo! You made it to another week. It's Monday, and we're going to do some reading practice today. All right, thanks for joining me. Here we go. Let's dive in. Healthy screen time is one challenge of distance learning. All right, I'm going to model to you how we read an article. And as you go across many different articles online, I'm just going to show you what I do to kind of help me understand better what the article is saying. So first, like I did, I read the title. So then I make a prediction. So I say, this is probably about something maybe I'm going through, right? Because you're distance learning and you're going on the computer all the time. And maybe you do wonder, is this healthy that I'm on my screen for so long? So I'm making a personal connection. I'm also predicting that maybe it's not healthy. Let's see if we can find out. Next, I look at the picture. I see a girl doing her online classes. I see a little kid doing some online stuff on the phone as well. And then this is called a caption underneath our picture. This caption tells us about the picture. So let's read it real quick. Maybe hard for you to see, but I'll read it out loud. Screen time for classwork isn't bad, experts say. Sometimes it can provide flexibility in your schedule. They also say that your time online should never get in the way of exercise and sleep time. All right, that's good to know. Let's start the article. And as I'm reading the article, I am also thinking as I'm reading. You can also even make notes off to the side or on another sheet of paper and summarize or give yourself a main idea for what you've read so far. All right, let's read. Learning has changed for many students. The spread of COVID-19 has made it unsafe for students around the world to meet in person for classes. Many students now use distance learning. They use computers to take classes online. Distance learning means lots of screen time. Kids are also stuck at home during their free time. Social media, television, and video games are ways to pass time. A Canadian organization of exercise experts recommends just 2 hours of screen time a day for kids. But with little else to do, they are spending more time on screens. If I were making notes off to the side here, or what you call annotating, if I were annotating, I would write something like, I spend way more than 2 hours right now, right? Because we're online and we're doing a lot on the computer. Let's keep reading. Studies show that kids who spend lots of time on screens are more likely to have health problems. Right now, though, kids need screens to learn and talk to friends. Michelle Guerrero is a doctor in Canada. You should be mindful of your screen time, she said. She realizes that many people need to be on screens for more than 2 hours a day right now. So I just read the first section. When I am looking at the top of this new page, I see what's called a subheading or a subtitle. The word sub, S-U-B, sub, means below or under. The subtitle is under the title. Let's see what the subtitle says. This subheading or subtitle says, get up and go outside. So I think it's going to be about playing outside, right? That's pretty obvious. Let's see what it says. People often sit as they use screens. Long periods of time spent sitting can change the body's metabolism. Metabolism includes chemical reactions that happen inside cells and organs. The reactions allow growth and movement. Changes in metabolism make health problems more likely. This can include obesity and diseases. Obesity means to be very overweight. It can be tied to some diseases. Being active may be harder than usual due to the spread of COVID-19. Learning from home means students are not walking around their school. Many sports have stopped. Try to be active at least once a day. Also, try to get up and move around regularly throughout the day. This can be as simple as getting a drink of water or playing with a pet. Lin Yang has studied the amount of time people spend sitting. She's a health expert. She recommends getting up at least once an hour. Yang said to go outdoors for some of the breaks. This is where maybe I would write, I could do that. I think I'll write that down. We can get up once an hour, right? Taking breaks is also good for your eyes. Myopia is when distant objects look blurry. It has been linked to screen time. Research has shown that it is also connected to too much time indoors. When you only look at things close up, your eyes do not get practice focusing on distant objects. Experts recommend looking away from your screen every 20 minutes. So if I were to make a note over here or annotate my text, I would say something about experts recommending that we go outside and making sure that we're looking at things close up and far away. All right, next section. My subheading here is all screen time is not equal. I'm guessing that maybe he's going to say some screen time is good. I don't know. Let's see. Talking to family or doing homework online is a different type of screen time than playing video games alone. Taryn Sanders is a scientist from Australia. In a 2019 study, he looked at how kids spent screen time. Educational screen time was linked to doing better in school. It had no negative health effects. Other screen time, such as watching a movie, was tied to worse results in health in school. Problems showed up mainly after more than 8 hours a day on screens. Some experts encourage kids to spend screen time with others, not alone. Meals and bedtime should also be free from screens. This section is a positive thing about screens. It's saying that, and if I were annotating or writing on my text, I would probably underline this. It had no negative health effects. So when educational screen time was linked to doing better in school, when you're on the screen and you're learning things, this scientist said that has no negative health effects. That's amazing. That's really good news, right? All right, let's go to our next section. No student should be left online. For some students, the problem is how to participate in online classes. They might not have a computer or internet. Some schools offer computers and an internet service to families who need it. However, not all schools do this. Some students have missed class because of this. Let's keep going to the last section. Looking on the bright side, distance learning has brought some positive changes. Some students enjoy setting their own schedules. Some also like being able to stand up and move around during class. At home, many kids have more freedom to lie on the floor, pace around, move to another room, or take breaks. Sanders has done studies that show some students learn better when they watch videos of class. This may be because they can go back and listen again to what they did not understand. In my opinion, and what I've seen, I have seen some of you guys do better online. Some of you really do enjoy this better, and that's okay. We all learn a little bit differently, and I think it's great that you're getting up and moving around during class. So before I head out of here, I want us to do one question together, and I just want to show you how I read a question, all right? So let's look at question number 1. Let me zoom in here so you can see a little bit better. All right, let's look at question number 1. This is not a quiz. We are just doing this for fun, just so I can show you how when I read a question, how I take a look. So first I look at the command words. Read the following paragraph. All right, the command word is read. It's telling me to read, so I know I need to read this paragraph. Let's quick read it. Taking breaks is also good for your eyes. Myopia is when distant objects look blurry. It has been linked to screen time. Research has shown that it is also connected to too much time indoors. When you only look at things close up, your eyes do not get practice focusing on distant objects. Experts recommend looking away from your screen every 20 minutes. Wow, that's crazy. All right, so that's not my question. This is my question here. So I need to read this. When you are looking at a question, you got to read the whole thing. We can't leave any words out. So my question is, how does this paragraph support the main idea of the article? Okay, I read it once, but I'm going to read it again. That's what I do when I'm taking quizzes or when I'm answering any questions. I read it a few times. So how does this paragraph, that paragraph, support? The word support means prove, right? Prove or agree with. So I'm going to rephrase it in my head. How does this paragraph agree with the main idea of the article? Main idea just means what the article is saying. Okay? How does it prove or agree with the article? Okay, and that's what we just read. So let's take a look at our answer choices. As I'm going through my answer choices, I want to eliminate or get rid of the answers I know are wrong. Okay, so how does this paragraph agree with the main idea of the article? A says, it explains that myopia makes objects that appear in the distance seem out of focus. That's not the main idea of the article. Although that's true, right? The main idea of the article is talking about screen time, not myopia. So I'm going to cross that out. Remember, we're thinking of the main idea, the whole article. How about B? It shows that many problems are caused when people spend time indoors. This paragraph doesn't really talk about that. It just talks about myopia. It doesn't talk about many problems. I'm going to cross that out. That one was tricky. I'm going to cross that out, though. Let's look at this one. C. It describes how people can avoid a problem from having too much screen time. That kind of sounds like this agrees with the whole article. Let's leave that and check the last one. D. It tells the reasons why students are spending more of their time on screens. I'm going to read that again. It tells the reasons why students are spending more of their time on screens. I don't see a reason why students are spending their time on screen here. If anything, it's the opposite. I'm going to cross this one out too. And I'm just going to double check my answer to make sure this makes sense. I'm going to explain it. It describes how people can avoid a problem from having too much screen time. Yeah, it gives me the problem, right? I could get myopia, but it gives me a solution. It says, get away from your screen every 20 minutes. That agrees with the whole article, because the whole article talks about screen time, right? The whole article talks about screen time, and this answer talks about screen time. Awesome. I know that's the answer. You guys did great. I hope you enjoyed. These are just some tips that you can use when you're reading and answering questions. This is something we often do in reading class. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope your Monday is just absolutely amazing. Talk to you later. Keep learning.